I call it expectations and sharing responsibilities. Now, when I'm talking about expectations, I want to make sure that we all on the same page on that. I don't want to have expectations that we all on the same page. I want to make sure we are on the same page. What makes an expectation a wrong expectations? What do you think makes an expectation? Do you agree that there are good expectations, real expectations, and there are false expectations? Do you know what makes an expectation a right expectation and what makes it a bad expectation? What is it? Anybody would like to suggest? Huh? Feasibility. That makes it what? A good expectation? If it's feasible, yes. If not, it's not. What else? If it's agreed on both sides, by both sides. Let me make it very simple to you, and you can again write it down if you wish, because one day you will need it. And it's a very, very powerful tool to exercise on a daily basis at home. What makes an expectation unrealistic is any expectation that it stays as an expectation and it was not communicated. There is no good expectations or bad expectations. You can have any expectation you want. Communicate it. Talk about it. Tell your husband, this is what I expect. Communicate expectation will make the expectation healthy. Now, what happens when you communicate an expectation? It's no longer in your dream la la land and in your waiting list, on your wish dreams that you wait. Isn't he understand that that's what I need? No. Talk about it. A healthy expectation is any expectations we discuss, we communicate. Believe it or not, there are men that when they get married, just as a quick example, because I'm not going to go on too many examples today, just to make the point a little clearer. There are men, when they come back from work, they do expect, they do, because that's what they saw at home, or in books, or in movies. When they come back from work, they expect a hot meal on the table. That's what they expect. Is that a good expectation or a bad one? It's going to be a terrible one when you did not communicate it. So what I suggest is you go to your wife and you say, hey, honey, have a seat. Let's have a little talk. By the way, never at 6 p.m. when you're hungry and there is no food. Wrong time to communicate. Very bad time to communicate. So you take it in a different time, at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., whenever there is some kind of a relaxed feelings at home, and you say, let's have a talk. I would like to talk to you about something. Yes, dear, what do you want to talk about? I'll tell you something. You know, when I grew up, this is what I saw. I saw that every day my dad came back from work, and my mom was waiting with a huge, beautiful, hot meal, and we used to sit together, and my dad loved that food. Yes, dear, this is a history class? No. This is not a history class. What is it? Do you miss your mom? Is that what it is? Well, what are you trying to tell me? No, I'm not trying to tell you that I miss my mom. What I'm trying to tell you, honey, is that my dream is that this beautiful habit will continue in the next generation. This wife can look at her husband and say one out of many different answers. My dear husband, I know you miss your mom. I know you feel that what your mom did was incredible, beautiful. But guess what? Your mom raised 1.5 children, and your mom stayed home all day long. She never spent an hour at work, and I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I go to work until 6 p.m. Honey, Go back to your mom. I can't do it. It's an unreasonable expectation. I know it sounds very beautiful and romantic to remember those days. Great. Please understand that those days belong to those days. And they have nothing to do with our current life. Is that a make sense answer? Now, if this conversation ever took place, then this man will never be frustrated. Because if his wife tells him, look, there is a difference between your mom and my life, and he understands that, we raise 5 kids, 6 kids, and I still work all day long, I'm exhausted, cooking is not in my mind. So they're communicating. They're communicating. He will never be frustrated because he never turned on his car back from work dreaming about the hot meal. He knows it's not going to be there. So what he really should do is call his wife on the way, said, honey, do you want me to pick up something from the restaurant? And he will never be frustrated because he knows this expectation will never going to happen. By the way, on the other hand, if the wife feels this is what your husband needs, and you can do it, I think the end of this conversation can be very beautiful. My dear husband, is that what you need? Is that what makes you happy? I'm at home, I don't work, we don't have kids yet, and you believe that me preparing food for you will make you happy? And he says, yes, darling. Not only it makes me happy, I want you to know, food is not about food. Food is not about cooking. Do you know what happens? This is me. No expectations. Talk, communicate. Do you know, honey, when you cook food for me, it makes me feel so great. Not because I have something to eat and fill up my stomach, but when I eat the food that you made with so much love and care and attention that you gave for me, it makes me feel closer to you. Wow. No more expectations. No more dreaming la la land. Communicate it. So this woman looks at her husband. This is the power of how we deliver messages. And she says to him, oh, do you feel cooking for you will make us feeling closer? Yeah. Do you want your husband to be close to you? If you want, you'll do it. So again, the main issue of expectations, what makes expectations wrong and unrealistic is when expectations stays expectations. When expectations becoming a communicate tool. When we communicate, by the way, it goes across the board in any expectations you have.